Hello, my beautiful YouTube family. How are you? Welcome or welcome back. My name's Sarah if you're new here, and I'm really excited to share with you right now just the frequency, the energy of newness. Like, I know everybody's talking about the astrological alignments, the spiritual ascension, everything, and it can feel very lofty, very abstract, very out there. Meanwhile, individually, we're going through these hugely deep, intense, but sometimes very mundane processes. In other words, like the microcosm that we are of everything that's happening is crumbling, like the turbulence of it is coming through in the deepest, sometimes unexpected, and sometimes darkest spaces. Now, leading up to this balance moment of equinox, and the equinox is always really powerful for me. Well, I say always, for the last 4 years or so. But leading up to this, we've been in a really deep space with the symbolism and the energy of some of the deepest, darkest, and unknown, in a way, feminine energies. And when I say unknown, they're not unknown to the soul, and they're not unknown at all, really, but they're ones that we've essentially pushed in the shadow, chained in the dungeon. Now, what I've noticed is a lot of these very dark, like essentially fear-based energies, which are like rampant in the collective as well right now, right? So it's like the ways in which they're being shown are woven into like the deepest parts of us. Possibly to childhood memories, to very deep patterns, made possibly patterns of codependence, addiction, feelings of smallness, hopelessness, failure, hiding. A lot of women that I've spoken to, and men, have all said that they felt like they're bracing for something. And I can really resonate with that. Like the nervous system, the old, if you like, or I'm seeing it in almost two at the moment. Like there's the nervous system of the person we've always been, which I'm feeling is kind of like now in this context, it's like the nervous system of the old pain body is kind of different from the nervous system of the true self, of the version of self that's in more embodied state, holds more light in their light body, contains more light in their field. So we've got this higher self-consciousness that's merging, and the solar light that's merging into the body, changing the state of the physical body. And then we've got the old pain body, which is essentially the shadow, a lot of the time, which is being integrated, released. We've got that sort of screaming at us sometimes. And it's a very interesting place to be. Personally, I've been called into a deeper relationship, or maybe way of looking, or deeper layer of the somatic experience right now. We've been talking about somatics and the importance of the relationship with the body and basic techniques to resource the nervous system for a long time. And it's essentially that old pain body that we've been resourcing. Or put another way, it's the version of ourselves that we've always known, that we've been resourcing. The one who holds the trauma, the one who holds the past. Now we're at a massive juncture, almost threshold, tipping point of new consciousness. And that's not anywhere outside of us. It's within us. It's within our body. So the body is like making way for it, or maybe it's just coming in anyway. And a lot of us are getting what they call ascension symptoms when this influx of light consciousness comes into the body. It's highlighting, it shows up everything in the shadow, doesn't it? Everything that's held in the body, held in the tissues. It's so important for us to be loving and gentle with our bodies through this process. And I mean physically, obviously loving. I mean love in action. I don't just mean like letting up a little bit on the amount of judgment and criticism that you pile on yourself and just being a little bit nicer. I mean actually deliberately offering yourself care. If somebody that was in your care, or somebody, let's put it this way, somebody that you really truly love, maybe a partner, but I would more say if a child was in your care, a niece or nephew, or a friend's child, something or somebody that you care for, and they were going through something, anything, the type of care that you would offer to another, which is normally when we love and care for somebody and we're showing that, that's normally in an energy of non-judgment. We may listen, offer reassurance, stay calm, and I don't mean make light of things, I mean keep it light-hearted. In other words, comforting, right? Let the person know that they're cared for, loved, it's okay. We can work things out. It's not blaming, shaming, criticizing, judging. Okay, so it's very easy for us to offer that level of care to others, but we often struggle to do it with ourselves. We have a default where we instantly attack ourselves. That really must stop. We are the ones that have to not just become conscious of it, because you're already conscious of it, because it makes you feel like shit, right? Or you sometimes catch yourself doing it, and it just causes that feeling inside, because we're not designed to be attacking ourselves in that way. It's like something that's gone misaligned. A lot of people in society have OCD because they can't stop thinking about something negative about themselves normally. Obsessional or compulsive. Most of society have an issue with overthinking. That's obsessional behavior. When we can't let go of a thought loop, it shows that there's something that we're attached to it because we need some type of resolution out of it. There's something underlying it that's unresolved energetically, and it's showing through this constant, it's trying to tell us something. So let's just take a breath together and open up to trust that everything that's happened leading up to this point is perfect. Every version of yourself that's got you to right now, which is exactly where you're meant to be, is perfect for what you need to see as part of your individual journey, growth, and expansion. It may be possibly things that need to be released before the expansion can occur. And these are not necessarily things outside of us. We tend to think of releasing things in terms of physical things or habits or people or a job. Yes, it may be. But a lot of this, as we said, is an internal, more subtle process. And a lot of us are being asked to release whole ways of being. Ways of being that have been so ingrained in from survival, through survival, that we're not even conscious that we're doing them, being them, until we are. And the ones that we developed very early on, the ones that went in first, in other words, the patterns, the thoughts and beliefs that turned into patterns, that then turned into perceptions and whole ways of being and perceiving the world, which is then like a whole construct that we live by. And it becomes so normal for us. That's our standard way of operating, and it becomes part of our identity. So a lot of us are only seeing these very, very ingrained ones that are normally energetically attached to our core wounding. We're only really seeing the root 1111 of that, and the core of it within us and within our psyche and our field right now, right at this threshold crumbling. It's like up until this point, we've been able to see ourselves in layers and layers and layers, and we can't see something until we can, right? Until we're conscious of it. So all across the years, we've been healing things as they've come to the surface to be healed. And that's all we have access to at any one time. We can't force that, because the psyche needs certain conditions and the body to be able to, for things to come up. So for a lot of us, these things that are coming up now, they're asking for a very deep moment, for deep moments of reflection, for really certainly not bypassing any of it. We don't need to go into the stories anymore, and we don't need to make any meaning out of it. But it does want the formula applied. It does want true acknowledgement, true witness, in a frequency that has no judgment, which then allows acceptance, which then allows alchemy. But we can only surrender to that process when we're not attached to our identities, attached to these ways of being that have brought us a sense of comfort through familiarity, but it's not comfortable anymore. That's uncomfortable. For a long time, that was more comfortable than the new. The new was really uncomfortable. So we made ourselves comfortable by going back to old things, by oscillating between the old and the new to try to stabilize. Now, the old things that are no longer a vibrational match for who we truly are and what we're stepping into, they don't resonate anymore. They're really uncomfortable now. So now it's all uncomfortable. So we may as well be choosing what we wish to create more of and starve out what is leaving. Honor it, acknowledge it, honor it, whatever you need to do to resolve. You know, if the energy leaving won't leave, or you're really attached to it, there's something there that needs resolution. And you can allow that to come through by being patient with it and by bringing the formula to it and just allowing it to be. If you allow something to be and hold that safe container, energy can start to move. That's all it wants to do. Anyway, we don't really need to manipulate things, fix things, clear things away. If you just hold the space within yourself that is safe and clear, energy can start to move because it's conscious and it wants to move. So whatever you're experiencing right now, know that it's exactly perfect for what you need. And sometimes there's an enormous amount of information, isn't there, in the detail. And what feels very mundane and repetitive, it's like, okay, if we know, sometimes I think to myself, if I know that my life serves me, okay, this is serving me right now. I might not know how, but I know that it is. So I'm going to relax. I'm going to surrender. I'm going to surrender control. And just be present in my energy, because when we are present in our field, we start to feel and sense beyond the physical realm and the circumstances which are kind of a result of yesterday, not really relevant to where we're going. So if we can just focus on what is actually true and real, which is essentially our consciousness within our field, we know that everything else is moving in response to that. So I love you. Thank you so much for being here. And I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has shared any videos with friends. Thanks for that. Please do if it resonates. Thanks for all the likes, any comments and subscribes. I really appreciate that. And yeah, whatever you're moving through, just be super kind to yourself, super gentle. It's up to you to really care for yourself. Nobody else can give us that basic offering that everybody deserves care and love. And we've kind of been missing ourselves out. Shatukiana. Have a beautiful day, evening, wherever you are in the world. I know I've got people on here from the US or Canada, so that's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Until next time.